What's up, guys? My name is Zero Heroes, and welcome back to more Men of War 2. Yes, the game relatively coming out very, very soon on the 15th of May. Now, if you haven't checked out my preview video on the trailer video for Men of War 2, then make sure you go check that out. The top right hand of the screen right now or on the channel. But if you would like to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe if you're new. We're trying to hit that 2,000 subscriber mark before the end of the year. If we can do that, that'd be absolutely amazing. Today we're going to be talking about like a wee sneak peek that Fulcrum Publishing, I know I pronounced that wrong, published at Twitter, or not well, I still call it Twitter, a Twitter post or a Facebook post, wherever you follow them on, and they uploaded a before and after picture of what is to come to the game. Now, just bear in mind that, again, this is probably still all in the testing stage, so nothing is actually confirmed, and there will probably be more, more changes to the game before it's actually released. So again, take this with a pinch of salt when reviewing these photos. But if you do want to follow these guys, then make sure you go to their Twitter or X, whatever you would call this, give them a follow, and it is Fulcrum Publishing. If you type that into X, that is where you'll find the posts of the latest news on Gates of Men of War 2, as well as follow my channel as well. Or if you want to follow my account, my Twitter account, then I'll leave that in the link down below as well. Make sure you go follow. Anyway, today we are going to be reviewing these two pictures right here and seeing what the massive changes are between the before and after picture. Now, I have put this as, quite a small picture, so I have put this on a Word document, but the only problem is that they're not beside each other. It's more like an up and down, but there is a bigger picture, so I am doing it on a, Microsoft document, even though these two pictures are probably beside and are probably better comparison. But just for you guys to get a better picture of it, I have done this on a Word document, so please bear in mind that I do apologize, it's not side to side. I'm not that much of an IT genius, I just know the basics. Anyway, let's get straight into it. So first of all, as you can see that this is taken in, the environment is kind of like a swampy, rainy, grassy, foresty area, the best way I can describe it. And as you can see, this picture is a before. This is the before picture, and this here is the after picture. Now, you can see some major differences, such as the AT gun, the infantry, the lighting, the whole, basically, you can see a lot of differences between the two pictures. And let's first of all start off with, I think, with the major ones, is that, well, one's a Panzer IV tank, the other one's a half-track, whereas this one's a Panther tank and a half-track. So, I mean, that's the obvious, difference, but I'm talking more towards the American side, such as the AT guns. First of all, you can tell, let's look at the before picture. You can see this possibly looks like a 57mm gun, although I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, then let me know in the comments. But just from a look of the caliber of the gun, it looks 57, and how small it is. It does look like your casual 57mm. Now, the difference is the size of it. I think the caliber it does actually look, it's still the same caliber, but they've just changed the AT gun itself. They changed the actual model of the AT gun, so this is this is possibly a more, historically accurate 57mm compared to the previous one, where it kind of just looks like it's kind of cropped from, the old Men of War Squad 2 and just put into Men of War 2, which I think is quite lazy of them. But if this is what they're going to be publishing into the game, then I do think that this is really good, because they're making all this on their own, and I think it's quite, creative, and they're not just copying and just pasting stuff from an old game. And you can also see the fact that it's, I don't know for you, but it looks a lot brighter for me. I know I'm kind of going up and down. I'm sure it's getting quite, dizzy for you guys, so I'll try and maybe stick to one picture. So if we look at the before picture, you can see it's quite grey, dull, and it is kind of fits with the environment because it is rainy and cloudy. That makes sense. But if you kind of look at the sky, at least on the before, and then you look at the after, it looks a lot brighter in the after picture, and you kind of get that more of a feel of a rainy, grey afternoon. I mean, I live in Scotland. Literally, our country is just about rain and just misery. So I literally know how that feels. Anyway, my point being is that the grey, this after picture is like a lot brighter, and it kind of feels a wee bit more authentic to the actual gameplay, and it kind of reduces visibility, which is kind of what it's meant to do, whereas this one, it is grey cloud, but it doesn't reduce visibility, which I think rain and cloudiness should do. I mean, when I certainly drive in a car and it's rainy outside, it certainly reduces my visibility, not by a lot, but it certainly, when it's rainy, it's hard to see when it's raining, when it's cloudy. So I kind of like how this picture, the after picture, shows harder it is to see out, in the foresty area. You can see like the before, you can see the trees here are quite clear, whereas after, you can see it's quite harder to see like the forest in the background, which I think is really quite nice. Moving on to the infantry, as you can see here, the before after, the infantry, the sandbags, the ammo crates, I would even say is that their uniforms, again, they just look so cropped and look like they're just taken from franchise games such as, as I said, Men of War, Assault Squad 2. So I feel like they weren't actually properly done. But when you actually go to the after picture, I am now going to go up and down just so you can get a good comparison. So you can see with the kind of the new uniforms, you can see they're like a lot darker, because it's raining, so it makes the rain hits their uniform and makes their jackets on their uniform like a lot darker compared to this, where their uniform is quite bright and it doesn't really, again, match with the environment that it's on. So if you've ever seen Saving Private Ryan and they're in France and it's raining, you can see that their uniforms gets all wet, and I might put a picture up of it just so I can prove my point here. But basically you can see here that the uniforms are completely different, and it feels and looks like a lot more realistic. Again, it looks like they've actually put time and effort into changing the whole uniforms. They've put really good detail into the uniforms. As well as I said, the supply crates, even though this does look actually a lot clearer than the after picture, again, it just shows how the after picture is a lot more realistic in the sense that it's raining, as I said, so it's a lot harder to see in the environment that it is. But you can see like the ammo crates, you can see like a darker green, where this is more of a brighter green, although it is kind of hard to tell because you're staring at a phone or a computer, so it's maybe more harder to tell through video footage. Anyway, that doesn't make sense. But my point being is that even just look at the environment, so you can see that this type of grass here is a lot darker, where this one's slightly brighter, again, even on a rainy day. So it doesn't really make sense considering the rest of the cloud is like, the rest of the sky is really cloudy. So making this kind of a bright kind of color green doesn't really make sense, whereas this one is a lot darker. So again, it's just been affected by the rain, the rain hitting the leaves. And I know that sounds really particular in what I'm saying, but it is accurate. If you want games to be kind of very particular and accurate, these are the things that I take detail to. So it's just the way I am, and it's just I like to take it's the attention I like to take detail to, if that makes sense. Next is these sandbags, as I just mentioned. You can see again just a clear contrast in color. You see this is a lot darker here compared to this one, which actually I think kind of makes more sense in the previous, again, because it's the rain that hits the sandbag, and the rain does actually affect the color of a sandbag, a uniform, or anything it hits. So I feel like this is slightly more realistic, but the model of it just looks just very gamey. Again, it doesn't look very realistic, where this one feels a lot more thawed out. It looks a lot more clear to what you can see it, and it, again, even though it still looks quite bright, so it looks like maybe the rain hasn't hit it. But again, this is just me being really picky, and I know the game probably won't have the effects of the rain hitting it, but again, it's just my mind and where it goes and that. So really just important little detail to take there. As well, kind of the color of the trees as well. I think that you can see that these two colored trees here where my mouse are, you can see the difference, that it's a lot brighter, and in the sense that it's again slightly harder to see because of the rain, the environment that it's currently in. So just to take note there. And also just overall, I think just looks after picture, just the detail and the amount of time it looks like it's been put into, I really do appreciate it, because a lot of maybe franchise newer games who build the game up, kind of tend to fall off because all they've done is just, again, they take items or units from the previous franchise game and they just put them in the new game. It maybe just makes the graphics better, makes them look slightly better when there's no, and it doesn't look like they're changed, but you can see the actual visual changes between the two. And I can tell you already that this, possibly a 57mm, or it could be 75, I'm not quite sure. Just from this before picture, looks like a 57mm, and I don't know if it's the same as well, but it looks a lot bigger and just looks a lot more in detail from what I can see. You can see that just this 80 gun just looks quite plain, small and boring, whereas this has got a lot more detail. You can see the legs stretching it, you can see the all little, interactions throughout the, throughout the whole 80 guns and all that. It just overall just looks 10 times better, and that's what it's all about. I think that the fact that they've put time and they're showing it to the community shows that they actually care about this game, and you can see it progressing a lot better than what I ever expected to. So yeah, guys, that is my conclusion review on this before and after picture. If you'd like to see more sneak peek pictures like this for Men of War 2 or any other game, then make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Again, we're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That'd be absolutely great, guys. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on these and the before and after. Do you like these changes and the fact that the after picture feels more, authentic, realistic, and they've actually put time into the game? Or do you prefer like the old picture where you kind of like traditional classic 80 guns like these? Let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching at Oisport, and I will see you in the next video. See you later, and goodbye.